think about the 4 seasons. There's winter, there's spring, there's summer, and there's fall. It's impossible for any of us to be in the stage of like spring incessantly, where things are just bursting and growing and they're popping. That's just not nature. It's not reality. Take that long view, then you really make wise, intelligent, long-term decisions that allow you to weather these little valleys when they come up, because that really is the nature of life. Hey, it's Marie Forleo, and welcome to another episode of the Marie Forleo podcast. Right now, I want to remind you of an inconvenient truth. You ready for it? Success is never instant. That's right. It doesn't happen overnight, and neither does failure. Both are actually a byproduct of the small choices you make day after day, week after week, year after year. I'm sharing this with you for 2 reasons. Number 1, to remind you and encourage you that consistent, intentional, creative effort always pays off. It literally never goes to waste. And number 2, I always want you to think in terms of the long game, especially if you're in business. So what does that mean? It means you gotta have patience. You gotta keep showing up and giving your full effort, even when you don't feel like it, even when things are really hard, even when the results aren't quite there yet. This is something we're going to dive deeper into on today's call-in show. You're going to hear from Alex, a makeup artist turned freelance illustrator who's in a bit of a business slump, and she is struggling to stay optimistic. If you're going through a tough season yourself, I truly hope today's episode is going to help.
Hello?
Hi, is this Alex?
This is Alex.
Hey, It's Marie. You're on the Marie TV Live call-in show. How are you, darling?
Oh my God. I'm good. How are you?
So good. You're here with Gregory and all of Team Forleo, and we are really excited to talk with you. So let us know your question, and we will do our best to help you out.
Okay, my question will probably become a story, but I left my 10-year-long career as a makeup artist in January to pursue a career in freelance illustration from my social media page. And I've been managing to stay afloat because I'm kind of a multi-passionate human.
Yes.
And I've got a bunch of things going on. So for the past 4 months, I've been doing okay. I'm having one of those slow weeks, though. It kind of comes in waves. And I was just kind of wondering, how do you stay focused and optimistic during those lower times in your new business? Because I tend to kind of be like, oh, I got to go apply for my old job back and run away whenever it gets quiet.
Yeah.
So how do you keep the self-doubt from taking over?
Absolutely. This is a great question, and it's something I think many of us have experienced and will experience again anytime we enter a new chapter in our lives. We're starting a new career, we're starting a new business, we're entering a new phase where things are unknown and we're not as established as we once were. So normal. I also want to congratulate you for following your heart, right? And doing something new. That takes a lot of courage.
So scary.
It is so scary, but that's amazing. And you're actually doing it. I've talked to so many people on this show and have worked with so many folks who get paralyzed in that fear position and never actually move.
Yeah.
So give yourself
It's
credit.
real.
For actually doing it. So one thing that I want to tell you, no one, and I know you know this, but sometimes it's helpful to hear a reminder, no one is an overnight success, especially when they're starting something new. So you have to cultivate that patience muscle inside of you. And yes, there will be those highs and lows, right? There will be those peaks where you're busy and some of those valleys. And I know the valleys are what we're talking about. One thing that really helped me when I was starting my business was a little thing I like to call ABM. Always be marketing. You know, I'm a big fan, passionate advocate of marketing, especially for small business owners, because what it does is it gets you in the habit of sharing value and also gets you practiced at reaching out to folks who could hire you or who could be a source of income or jobs or connections. So if you don't have a little ritual set up for yourself, whether it's daily or maybe 2 or 3 times a week, but at least weekly, where you are proactively doing whatever is appropriate for your business in order to drum up more business, you've got to put that habit in place. It could be making phone calls, sending emails, asking for testimonials, reaching out, right? Anything that you've been doing in your business so far that's been working, we want to do more of that. And if there's some ideas that you've had about how to expand your business, Let's try some of those ideas out too. I'm
Hmm.
assuming, my love, you're not a B schooler yet, right?
I'm not, no.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put out a little hope for you that you will join us at some point in the future, because
Oh,
it's
I
one
would
of the
love
things
to.
I'm most passionate about teaching. And that's kind of what we go deep into there. But the point is still valid. Always be marketing. So develop
Hmm.
that habit with yourself. And what that does is, whenever your mind starts to go to, but wait, ain't nothing happening. It's all slow. Did I make a mistake? Which, again, that's a natural place any mind would go to. If
Oh
you've
yeah.
got this beautiful list of things that you could do, proactive steps you could take, making that call, sending that email, putting up another post, requesting a
Hmm.
testimonial, and you dive into action, you're going to train yourself to just kind of slide right through that self-doubt and get into that always be marketing place, which does drum up more business. The other thing I want to say to
Okay.
you is this. In my own journey, took me over 7 years before I was able to provide for myself and for my family at that time, to solely from my coaching income. So I had
Yeah.
side gigs. So let's say you find yourself at a makeup counter again. That's fine.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you failed. Whatever you need to do to
True.
keep the lights on and to have food on your table while you continue to build this new chapter in your life, there ain't no shame in that game, honey, right?
Yeah.
Honest work is honest
Yeah.
work. The other thing I want to tell you, and this is kind of a layer underneath it, this is something that I recommend to everyone because I just don't think we talk about it enough, is to handle your money. What do I mean by that?
Yeah.
I don't know
Right.
how much work you've done on your own personal financial well-being in terms
Hmm.
of understanding money in your own life. Do you have savings? Do you have any debt? Do you have a plan to pay that down? Are you investing for your future? Just really diving into the topic of money. We, of course, have many Marie TVs that can get you started on this topic because, again, I love it
Yeah.
so much. But separately, it's like investing in your own financial well-being as you're building out this new career is a really important thing to do. You can't
Hmm.
just stick your head in the sand. I'm not saying that you're doing that. We'll find out in a minute. But what sometimes people do is they scramble about their business or their new creative project, but they spend zero time looking at personal finance on like a big global level. And it does them a disservice, because chances are when you're multi-passionate, your career is going to have several evolutions, like
Yeah.
several more. So you can look forward to chapters like this again and again. And when your
Yes.
financial house is really solid underneath you, it allows you to make wise decisions about your pricing, about what jobs to say yes to, about maybe saying yes to working at a makeup counter again, because you're like, you know what? That's going to be my little savings account. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to bless those jobs and that time that I'm there. Not that I'm a failure, but because I'm building my financial wealth slowly over time while I continue to build this new illustration business. Does that make sense?
Hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It gives your entire career landscape a whole fresh lens. This way,
Hmm.
when you say yes to something, you know why you're doing it. It's for a
Hmm.
higher, greater, deeper purpose that's serving you over the long run, not just about the short-term win or the ego thing about, oh, I can't make it, and oh, I'm not doing good enough right
Yeah.
now. Screw all that bullshit. That'll
Yeah.
screw you up. Nobody needs that.
That is
When
some
you take
bullshit.
that, yeah, that's right. When you take that long view, then you really make wise, intelligent, long-term decisions that allow you to weather these little valleys when they come up, because that it really is the nature of life. There's, think about the 4 seasons. There's winter, there's spring, there's summer, and there's fall. It's
Hmm.
impossible for any of us to be in the stage of like spring incessantly, where things are just bursting and growing and they're popping. That's just not nature. It's not reality. So that's why
Hmm.
I'm such a huge fan of handling the personal financial piece, because it allows you to weather the natural seasons of life without so much panic. And you can make
Yeah.
wiser, more heart-centered decisions without going into a place of lack.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Greg's here. Well, first of all, let me ask you, how's this resonate for you? Is this working for you, love?
Yeah, it's working. It's making sense. And, I'm from Montreal, like I'm living in Montreal, and
Yes.
we know about winter here.
Yes, you do.
It's a lesson in itself.
Yes.
So, yeah, and I'm working through understanding more about financial beliefs because I noticed that when I left my job and went completely freelance, my income has stayed identical to what it was when I was working at my job. And I think I might have some limiting beliefs around what I need to earn each week.
Yeah. Well, here's what's exciting about what you're sharing with us right now. Just the fact that you're asking these questions and you're willing to take an objective look and you're looking at the numbers and you're kind of bouncing that against what you might believe about money, what you might believe that you can earn, what you deserve, what you're capable of. This awareness piece is the beginning of it all shifting. So I'm really, really excited for you. And I also want to mention, we have a vintage Marie TV episode. If you search Marie Forleo, How to Prevent a Business Dry Spell, it's one that I did all the way back in 2011. Ideas still valid. Search that one up.
Yeah.
I think it'll really support you in addition to this. But diving in, investing in your financial well-being, including the beliefs that you have about money, this is perfect for where you're at right now. Super, super perfect. I'm tossing it over to Greg to see if you have anything you'd like to share.
Yes. Like, first of all, I'm a hairstylist. So girl, I get you, right?
You know that.
And one super cool thing that we have is we have a recession-proof gift that we get to always share and always make money wherever we go. Like I can, if I have a dry spell in my business, which I absolutely do, I can always do a blowout. I can always go to somebody's house to, style them for an occasion or something. I just need to reach out to them, So the beautiful thing about us is we always have a recession-proof gift, a trade that we can take wherever we go. So we don't need an office. We don't need a space. You have those gifted little hands, brushes, and some pigment. You could paint the world wherever you go if you need to.
Very true.
Yeah,
it's true. I traveled the world for 7 years, and I worked as a makeup artist all over it. It's very true. It's like a good thing to have in your back pocket.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
Your artistry is coming with you everywhere.
Let's go a lot of that fear.
Yep.
And it kind of lets you sit back and be like, okay, well, maybe I can do two more, take on two more clients to do like the wedding coming down the road. Yeah. And then you could take the week off to focus on your business. I don't know.
Yeah, so you're right. That's true.
Love it.
Use it.
Well, we're really excited for you. Hopefully that this was helpful. Please keep us posted because we want to hear how it goes.
Of course, I will. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Absolutely. Thank you. Wasn't Alex fantastic? I so respect her commitment to follow her heart. Now, I want to hear from you. So ask yourself, what might change if you stepped back and saw your life from a long-term perspective? What would be different if you rooted yourself in your own wisdom and a sense of abundance? And finally, what's one step you can take right now to turn that insight into action? Take a screenshot of this episode and let me know on social. I'm at Marie Forleo. I really hope you enjoyed today. If you did, make sure to subscribe. And no matter what, stay on your game and keep going for your big dreams. Because you know what? The world really does need that very special gift that only you have. Thanks so much for listening. And I'll catch you next time on the Marie Forleo podcast. Do you have an idea for a product or service, but you worry you don't have the time or financial resources to make it happen? I specialize in helping big-hearted creatives like you bring your business dreams to life. In fact, I've helped over 65,000 people from all kinds of industries and backgrounds through my online business training program, B-School. But since B-School isn't available right now, I have something you can get started with today. Google Marie Forleo Free Business Tools, and you'll get a comprehensive guide of over 322 free tools and resources to help you plan, design, market, and manage your way to business success. That's right, it's all totally free. So Google Marie Forleo Free Business Tools and get this resource guide today. You're welcome.